We've all seen terrible photos of art taken at weird angles in dark rooms, these images doing nothing to showcase the merit of the work. Whether you're an artist or a student or a collector, or maybe you're even just emptying your parents' house. In this video, I will be demystifying the secrets to making your 2D art shine. Together, we're about to turn photos of your art from a meh to a oh wow. Let's dive in. I'm Riley Arthur, and this is Platypod TV. I love art, making it, talking about it, wearing it, looking at it, buying it. Early in the pandemic, I got really into online art auctions, and now I am running out of wall space. My husband actually told me to take the year off of buying art. I still bought art. In today's video, we will tackle the essentials to photographing 2D art, both framed and unframed. Today, I'll be shooting on my iPhone and using tube lights. If shooting on a traditional camera, and not a smartphone, be sure to adjust the white balance manually for most accurate color. Tube lights come in a variety of sizes, and most come with apps that help you adjust color and temperature. They're also pretty affordable. For my key light, I will be using the Amaran T2C, and for my fill light, I will be using the Ambitfill A2 tube light. Shooting framed and unframed work has a slightly different technique. Shooting unframed art, I used a Platypod grip to hold my phone, then connected that to the Platypod elbow, and then connected to the Platypod Ultra, and then used the Platypod clamp to clamp it to the table. I positioned the art on the table and moved it closer to the window for some diffuse ambient light. I placed the art on a white surface, in this case a reflector. I adjusted the tube light to a 40-degree angle. Shooting unframed art is not a one-size-fits-all. For example, when shooting ceramics, you may want to adjust the direction of the light and the angle of the light to best showcase or conceal the depth of the pottery and the detail in the glaze. For best results shooting large, wrapped, unframed canvas, put the painting on the wall. Make sure the painting is level. Take your tripod or monopod and measure the height of the center of the painting. This is where you're going to want to place your camera at that center point. By doing so, this avoids distortion. Let's move on to framed artwork. For framed artwork that has glass in it, the first step is wiping down that glass with a clean cloth. Begin by placing your art in a well-lit room without direct sunlight to avoid harsh shadows and reflections. If you're in a room with a lot of windows, you may not realize that direct sunlight is refracting off of walls, and it may cause some problems. This Ellen Rep print has highly reflective plexiglass, and it's a good 11 feet from the window. Even moving the shades up and down didn't seem to work. Moving the print away from windows to another wall made a huge difference. Position your camera at the center point of the art, just like I showed you earlier. In this room, because there was diffused window light, I was able to use a smaller fill light. However, if you're in a room with no windows, I would recommend using two lights of the same size. I positioned them at a 45-degree angle. I mounted my small tube light on a Platypod gooseneck onto a Platypod Ultra tripod. Because I needed to secure the tripod to the couch, I used two Platypod straps, and they worked really well. I shot these images using my Platypod grip on my Manfrotto monopod. Now, shooting a photograph of a photograph from my diner series may seem silly because it seems counterintuitive to take a photograph of a photograph when I could just use the digital version of the photograph. However, there are instances where having a digital image of the framed print does make sense. Other considerations, like gilded frames, can present some lighting challenges that you don't see with modern style frames. This is because they have more dimension. They're typically a thicker frame, and they reflect light because they are gilded. Experiment with different angles and find ones that work best to highlight both the art and the frame, because with gilded frames, the frame is also a piece of art. In this instance, because there was no glass on this framed work, I found that the best angle of the light was actually to position the light directly in front of the work and the fill light directly below it. This gave the most even light. Don't forget to take close-ups of your art from different angles to highlight the intricate details of the work. For your most stunning results, remember these three things. Position your camera at the center of the artwork, use a tripod or monopod or some stabilizer to keep your camera steady so your images are sharp, and use soft diffuse lighting from a 40 to 45-degree angle unless shooting artwork with dimension. And there you have it, a simple guide to photographing 2D art. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on photographing 3D arts like sculptures, statues, carvings. If this tutorial helped you and you photograph your art using Platypod gear, be sure to tag us on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. For more of my work, find me on Instagram. I don't know about you, but this makes me want to grow my art collection. Until next time, stay creative, happy shooting, and I will catch you in the next frame.